Good evening, Eagles Nation, and welcome to your Philly-focused NFL rundown. I'm your host, diving headfirst into the green blood that pumps through the city. Picture this, it's 2017, confetti's raining down on the frozen tundra of Minnesota, and Nick Foles is hoisting the Lombardi Trophy while 1.6 million fans turn Broad Street into the greenest parade in Super Bowl history. Fly, Eagles, fly, echoing off the Schuylkill River like a battle cry. Fast forward to 2025, and here we are again. Super Bowl 59 champs defending their crown after that epic 31-24 thriller over the Chiefs back in February. But folks, after a gut-punch 21-17 loss to the Broncos at the Link this past Sunday, dropping us to 4-1, is lightning about to strike twice? Or is this the storm before the soar? Buckle up, because tonight, we're unpacking it all. Let's start with the heart of the matter, straight from the locker room trenches. After that frustrating home defeat, where our defense bent but didn't break, holding Denver to just 21 points, quarterback Jalen Hurts, wideout A.J. Brown, and new running back Saquon Barkley didn't waste a second pointing fingers. No, sir. They locked themselves in a room for a couple of hours, hashing it out in what insiders are calling a long, positive conversation. And on Wednesday, head coach Nick Sirianni stepped up to the mic, beaming like he'd just watched a Reggie White strip sack highlight reel. Love the fact that we all get together and are looking for solutions to continue to get better, Sirianni told reporters, his voice crackling with that classic Philly grit. That's just not a coaching thing. That's not leaders on the football team. That's this team. That's the mindset of this team. How do we keep getting better and play our best football by the end of the year? You love that. You love that for all the guys. Now, let's dive deeper, because this isn't just chit-chat. It's a lifeline for an offense that's sputtering like a 72 Chevy on Broad Street during rush hour. Remember, we're the reigning kings, fresh off that Super Bowl glory where Hurts outdueled Mahomes with surgical precision, threading needles to Brown and Devonta Smith for over 200 yards combined in the finale. But since hoisting the trophy, crickets. We've kicked off with 4 straight dubs, edge-of-your-seat wins over the Packers, Falcons, Saints, and Rams. But the numbers? Oof. We're dead last in the league at 30th in total yards per game, scraping by with just 261.6 yards on average. That's like bringing a slingshot to a cannon fight in the NFC East, where the Cowboys are lurking with their shiny new toys and the Giants. Well, they're 1-4, but don't sleep on that rivalry fire. Tactically speaking, it's a puzzle. Jalen Hurts, our dual-threat dynamo, the Alabama product who willed us to that 2022 Super Bowl run with 3,800 passing yards and 700 on the ground, has been lights out when protected, but the line's missing that Jason Kelce anchor we lost to retirement. Saquon Barkley, the Penn State beast who bolted from the Giants to us in free agency, is on pace for a measly 908 rushing yards if we don't fix this. That's not the Barkley who torched us for 176 yards in Week 7 last year. That's a guy grinding through double teams without the holes. And the receivers? A.J. Brown, our Mississippi missile with those tree trunk arms and that 1,400-yard tear in 24, is fuming, allegedly, alongside Devonta Smith, the Heisman kid from Alabama who's supposed to be feasting on jump balls. Their combined catches? Barely cracking 20 a game early on. It's like we've got Ferraris in the garage, but the keys are lost under the couch. Sirianni's scheme, that Shanahan-inspired zone runs mixed with play-action bombs, worked wonders last fall during our bye-week epiphany, sparking a 13-4 crusade. But now, it's clunky. Too many 3-and-outs, not enough chunk plays. The bye in Week 5 last year flipped the switch. Could this Broncos hangover do the same? But wait, there's more to this story than stats on a spreadsheet. Flashback to that 2024 bye. Stories leaked about heated huddles where Hurts lit a fire under the room, echoing the mental toughness Brian Dawkins preached for a decade, sacking quarterbacks with that eagle-eye stare. Sirianni nailed it today. This isn't all that different than last year, going through these things as well. You buckle down. You find solutions. You find answers to the problems, and you work yourself to get better from that. That's what it's about. That's how you grow. That's a mental toughness thing. It's vintage Eagles. Remember 08, when Donovan McNabb rallied from a 5-5 start to drag us to the playoffs? Or 17, when Carson Wentz went down, and the backups turned heartbreak into history? This fan base, we're the ones who booed Santa Claus in 68 but cheered Super Bowl heroes in 18. Passionate. Understatement. Lincoln Financial Field shakes like it's got its own fault line during Sweet Caroline sing-alongs. To bring this alive, let's imagine I'm ringside with the stars, because who wouldn't want a front row seat? Picture Jalen Hurts, sweat still fresh from practice, leaning into the mic. Man, that room with AJ and Saquon? It was real talk, no filters. We're brothers in this. I've got Saquon's back blocking for me like he did in that Giants-Eagles bloodbath last year, and AJ's routes? They're poetry when we sync up. We're not pointing blame, we're building a dynasty. Then AJ Brown, flashing that megawatt smile. Frustrated? Sure, but that's fuel. Devonta and I, we're the dynamic duo. Think Reggie White and Seth Joyner terrorizing backfields. Give us the ball, and watch the link erupt. And from the coaching tower, Sirianni wrapping it up, these guys remind me of Dawkins, Eagles don't flock backward. We're pecking at problems till they shatter. Even a fan from the 700 level chimes in, heard about that meeting? That's Philly tough, like when we stormed Dallas in 22, 41-34, and made Jerry Jones cry into his blue star. Fly, Eagles, fly, baby. Stats don't lie, but they do whisper secrets. Compare this to last season. We averaged 385 yards a game en route to that Super Bowl chip, third in the NFL. Rushing, top 5 with 150+ per tilt, thanks to Hurts' legs and DeAndre Swift's vision. No, we're 22nd on the ground, and the air game's middling at best. Hurts' completion percentage dipping under 65% for the first time since his rookie blues. Injuries, minimal so far, knock on that foam finger, but the offensive line's youth is showing, with rookies like Tyler Steen getting schooled. It's a far cry from the 90s Reggie White era, when the Minister of Defense led a swarm that sacked foes 50 times. Yet, here's the silver lining. At 4-1, we're still atop the NFC East, 2 games up on those smirking Cowboys. And Thursday night football, we're 7.5-point road chalk against the 1-4 Giants. Think of it as payback for every time Barkley gashed us in blue. A get-right game if there ever was one. Win that, and boom, momentum surges like the mummers on New Year's. Looking ahead, my prediction: this hiccup's our wake-up call, just like 24's bye-week magic. I see us rattling off 7 straight, finishing 12-5, Hurts eclipsing 4,000 total yards, Brown and Smith combining for 2,500 receiving. Playoffs: we're locking in that number 1 seed, avenging any Cowboys dagger in the divisional round, because nothing says rivalry like Jason Garrett's ghosts haunting Dak Prescott. And Super Bowl 63. Why not a Philly repeat, hoisting it in New Orleans, with the Who Dat crowd chanting AGLS by halftime? Expert takes from the grapevine echo it. The Eagles' DNA is January proof, says a fictional beat scribe from Birds 24/7. This meeting, it's the spark. Mark my words, philosophical football at its finest. Alright, Eagles faithful, as the clock winds down on tonight's report, let's channel that unbreakable spirit, the one that turned underdogs into overlords. Dust off your Kelly Green, crank up some Meek Mill for that pregame vibe, and tune in Thursday as we invade MetLife and remind Big Blue why the NFC East bows to Philly. Will it be the turning point? You bet it will. This is more than football. It's our city's heartbeat. So grab your cheesesteak, rally the crew, and let's fly together. I'm signing off. Until next time, stay passionate, stay green. Fly, Eagles, fly.